You know you're in good hands with Steve Cole. That's just me sucking up, but, you know, I don't care. Greetings, people of the internet. My name is Matt, and this is Doctor Who Online. Okay, so today we are talking about this. Doctor Who, Time Lord Victorious, The Knight, the Fool and the Dead by Mr. Steve Cole. Now, I must admit I'm a little biased on this point because I like Steve Cole's writing. But then again, I've always liked Steve Cole's writing. He's written some of my favourites Doctor Who audios. I like Land of the Dead. I like the Apocalypse element. I love the Wormery. So I'm actually just going to focus on this book, okay? I'm not gonna confound the issue by saying, in order to understand this, you've got to go here, and if you can understand that, you've got to go there, and that leads into this, and that leads into this. I would imagine everything is going to sort of match up eventually, I hope, because Time Lord Victorious is already very overcomplicated, and it's taken a good long while for me to actually get my head around it, okay? So it's at the precise second, it's just me, you, and this book. So to start off, this is part one in a two-parter. Part two comes out in December, which is All Flesh is Grass. Okay, so that is going to follow on from what happens in this book. Okay, this is part one. Okay, so this is directly set after the Waters of Mars. Okay. I was initially very confused because I always thought at the end of Waters of Mars he became Time Lord Victorious, then changed his mind when Captain Adelaide Brooks committed suicide. Apparently that is not quite the case. Okay, stick with me. This is, you know, you're in for a ride here. Also, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, or spoiler-free as I can humanly get it. Because it's up to you to go read the book. I'm just here to say that it's a really good book. I could just end the video there. It's a good book, go read it. But you want to know my reasons, so here they come. So, after the events of Waters of Mars, the Doctor, as far as I can tell, is very sort of... He doesn't know, he's reeling from Adelaide's suicide. He doesn't quite know what to think. He's kind of beating himself up about it a bit. So he decides to run. He just decides to go, and he ends up back during the Dark Times. Now, the Dark Times seems to be a setting of a lot of Time Lord Victorious stuff. There was not, you know, not going to go into it there, but like I say, there is an awful lot of material that is set during the Dark Times, and that's where he ends up. When he gets there, he meets the Katura. I love the Katura. Check this out, right? That's the Katura right there. Do you know what that is? Cosplay pans. When Doctor Who conventions start telling you, not even joking, that's happening. And the Katura, they're a really strange race. I mean, when I say strange, we're talking faction paradox levels of strange. If you don't know what faction paradox is, go Google it. You're going to love yourself for it. And they are the bringers of death. They're, you know, these harbingers, and they want to be the overriding reason for death in the universe. It is so eerie, and I just love it. The book itself is less than 200 pages, so that kind of makes this, in a nutshell, kind of like a new series Target novel. In fact, if this cover comes out in paperback, this is going to look beautiful. It should actually have a Target cover. Yeah, but that's, you know, I'm a traditionalist. It's a fast old story. It does not pause for breath, but then again, with less than 200 pages, you haven't really got time to. The book itself really is a fast-paced book, but with less than 200 pages, you can't really stick around to waffle all that much, which is no bad thing because I've read Doctor Who books in the past. I mean, we're talking the big novels, and I've always found that there's a certain section of the book where they told the entire story in about that much, and you've still got that much left over. And you just think, well, why not just sell me that part of the book and cut out all this waffle? This cuts down to the bare bones of how to tell a story, but it does it really, really well. We meet Brian the Ood. I have never met a psychotic Ood before, and then he turns up. A psychotic Ood. Killer Ood. Doing it out of choice. Let that sink in. Take as long as you like. But he is so suave. He is smooth. It's like the Ood has a Bond villain. That would actually be really cool, actually, if the Ood had, you know, James Bond versus the supervillain, and the supervillain turns out to be Brian the Ood. I'd watch that. I'd love that. I really would. One could almost say that he's an Ood in a mood. I don't deserve to be on the internet. What if the Doctor goes rogue, or kind of, what if he does turn to the dark side? Which is a really strange generalisation in terms of the Doctor's character. It's more, the Doctor's still got that mindset of there's no one who can stop him. Now, he wants to stop the Keturah. The Keturah up to something really epically evil and bad, okay? What they're up to, go read the book. He's got no filter, he's got no moral compass at the precise second. So he's going to do this, but he's going to do it under his terms, and he's going to do it by any way, means or shape possible. And it's the idea of that, of the Doctor just going, yes, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to do it this way, and no one's going to stop me. That's frightening. So it does actually make you wonder, is the Keturah the real villain? Or is the Doctor the villain? You know? It's kind of like that's what I got personally from it. I mean, I might be wholly wrong, but that's kind of how I felt. It's kind of, if this goes any further, the Doctors are going to have to stop him, and the Keturah, you know, are going to run for their lives. I don't know what the second book's going to bring out in this one. And what I love about this book is the fact that it's, a lot of people have said it's trying to reinvent the Time War. It's trying to rehash the Time War. I really don't think that's the case, really. Time's involved, and the Daleks are involved somewhere down the line, but I really wouldn't call it a rehash of anything. It's just, it feels to me like Steve Cole and whoever came up with the whole Time Lord Victorious story arc, they've had this idea for years. It's kind of a fanboy idea. And then all of a sudden they just said, well, why don't we do it? And then they go talk to the right people said yes, and next thing you know, here we are, and here I am talking about this sort of thing. It does feel like one of those fan fiction kind of storylines. But to my mind, there's nothing wrong with that, because technically, I mean, look, this is fan fiction. This is Doctor Who, written by Doctor Who fans. It is professional fan fiction. Because until something is said on screen, this is and is not canon. This is Schrodinger's fanfiction. If such a thing were possible. Which it is, and it is not at the same time. So really, to my mind, it's kind of the Doctor's one power and the Keturah's another power, and they're going to come together, and the Daleks are in the middle, and you've got Brian the Ood, and you've got the 8th Doctor here, and you've got the 9th Doctor here. And, that's another thing. This book is peppered with classic series references, which classic series and new series as well. Keep an eye out for the interludes. That's what I will say. Keep an eye out for the interludes. They're fun, especially the first one. The first one, when I read it, I just went, ooh, we're going down this road. You'll know when you get there, or if you've already read the book, you know that you know, and if you don't know, go and read the book, and then when you know, you're gonna know. Okay? So I know that you know, and you know that I know. Okay? We're getting there. The writing's slick. It's Steve Cole doing what he does best. I mean, Steve Cole is a past master at writing Doctor Who, at any rate. So it's smooth. It's not too heavy going. I do get the impression that it's meant for a younger audience, but because of fandom in general, you need something that allows you as much audience as possible, so you get a story that's good for younger readers, but has enough to keep the adult readers interested and hooked. And it did. Genuinely, I really did like this. I will confess that I was a little, not cynical, but I was resistant about Time Lord Victorious initially, because, I mean, my only question is, why not do something with the 13th Doctor? The only question I have got so far is, why is the 13th Doctor not involved? Why go back to the past of Doctor Who when really we could be doing something in this interim where there has been little to no 13th Doctor? It's a fair enough question. Why go back when we should be going forward? But there's probably logistic reasons that I'm pretty sure someone out there is going to tell me. In fact, I'm really hoping they're going to tell me, because I like knowing things about behind the scenes on Doctor Who. I really do. So if anybody knows, tell me. What I will do is I'll read you a bit. Just, I must admit, this gave me chills. Check it out. The Doctor was going back to Chalscal's flagship, and he had dressed for the occasion. He wore his Time Lord robes, the scarlet and orange of his chapter folded like a sunrise around him. Well, wasn't he ringing in the dawn of a new era? Here he was, survivor of a universe which Gallifrey fell, staking everything in these ancient times that he could show his world a better way, a way that would lead away from war. They were in orbit around Mordila, and he could finish what he had started on Andalia. The Doctor closed his eyes. Do I have the right? You can't doubt it, he told himself. The war of life and death, over in a single battle. And then things will be different. They have to be. I just love it. There's that nod to Genesis of the Daleks in there as well. That's why Genesis is going to be on the Time Lord Victorious Blu-ray set. It must be that reference. Interesting. So what else did I think of it? I thought it was a great book. It took me a long time to actually try and get into the whole Time Lord Victorious thing. But about 3 or 4 chapters into the book, I must admit, I do sort of retract what I initially say about Time Lord Victorious, and I did actually like it as a book. Even if this was just a standalone Doctor Who book, it didn't have to have all the Time Lord Victorious thing attached to it. If it was just a special 2-parter where the Doctor goes rogue in a strange what-if scenario, I wouldn't have minded that. I really wouldn't have minded that at all. So I really did actually enjoy this. But I will admit, it did take me a long time. It's taken me a long time to actually get hold of the whole Time Lord Victorious thing. I must admit, multi-platform media events, I've always hitting a bit of a sore point with me, because sometimes you could get a whole load of really quality content and it's all interconnected and it's all important, and then other times you do get 2 bits that are sort of essential, and the rest of it you don't have to know, but it's just nice to know. You know, it's kind of, I must admit, that's where I stand on Time Lord Victorious. But as a book itself, it's really good. It's fun. Good old-fashioned fun Doctor Who, as Steve Coles has always written. And that's why I like it. I like it because of Steve Cole as well, because Steve Cole writes some good Doctor Who, but that's just me. So that's what I think about The Knight, the Fool and the Dead. My name is Matt, and this has been Doctor Who Online.